Hello, good afternoon. My name is Matt Bentler, a student in UNV 108, and this is my disposition of self-assessment survey. Um, I wanted to start with my strengths. I think that after doing the reading and reading the material, I think that the dispositions that represent me best would probably start with number one would be high expectations. I feel that it's important for all teachers to start with the basis that all students can learn. Every student has the ability to learn. It's important that no student gets left behind in that sense. And I feel like I possess that quality very nicely. I also think that the ability to identify strengths and weaknesses is something that I share in that sense. And then from a personal standpoint, and it's not necessarily exactly the disposition, but sort of related to it, high expectations I also think comes from within myself because I've always wanted to be a teacher, and I just have that within myself, and those same kind of strengths and weaknesses come out when I think of me being a teacher, and I know that when I finally do become one, I will have high expectations of myself. Maybe the second disposition would probably be honesty. I think that it's extremely important that you're honest with your students. If you're not honest with your students, then really they're the ones that get hurt in the end. It's important that honesty is demonstrated by speaking truthfully to your students, and I think that quality I do possess as well. It's just something that comes naturally to me for sure. Maybe the third disposition I think would be reflection. I think that's very important. Reflection is something that every good educator, every good teacher, every good coach, anybody that's in a position to educate should have reflection because it's important that you learn from others. The ability to take constructive criticism is very important because you're not always right and you can always learn from others, and I think that that's a big part of reflection. So for me, that's one of the big ones for sure because I have no problem with that and I always have been like that, and I think that some of the wisest people in the world are people that have learned from others, in that sense. So I think that's extremely important. As far as weaknesses, I would say advocacy might be a weakness of mine that I could work on. I think that, trying to forge those personal relationships is something that maybe is a slight weakness of mine, so I could definitely work on it there. It's important to have strong relationships in the classroom, in the work environment, and something that is important for everybody in that field. So I think that's something that I could work on for sure. I also think that maybe curiosity could maybe be a weakness of mine. The ability to think outside the box is important, and when it comes to being curious within the classroom, I definitely maybe have a little bit of a lack there, so I could work on that for sure. And finally, I would say that qualities that educators should possess, in my opinion, number one, first and foremost, should be patience. I think it's very important to have patience with your students. It not only helps to breed a good and learning environment, but it actually helps having a calming sense, I think, to your students. Helps them to relax and be able to kind of open up more and learn more. So I think patience is very, very important. Respect is a big one for sure. You must have respect not only for your students, but for yourself and for the people that you work with. And I think dedication is another quality. Dedication to not only the work, but to the actual students that you're trying to help. Be dedicated to them and trying to further their education. And maybe lastly, just a faith is very important to me, and strong ethical principles I think is very, very important for me personally. And so I think those are some good qualities that teachers possess. So I hope that does it. Again, this is Matt Bentler, a student at GCU. Very excited to be here, and I hope this assignment works out well. This is my assignment for my Dispositions self-assessment survey. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and God bless.